Atheist Edge. I'm Jim.
And I'm Sam.
We are going to delve into my first book. I haven't ever given you the title before, and I'm not promoting it, but it is called Most People Believe in God. Can They All Be Wrong? You can find it on Amazon,
Yes.
Barnes & Noble, or any fine bookstore. We're going to hit, there's 25 chapters. Each one is what Christians tend to say to us or ask us that we're tired of answering. Mm-hmm. And this is the third installment. We're going to go with chapter 12. Mm-hmm. Sam, you ready?
Absolutely.
You have limited knowledge of what's about to happen, right?
Go for it.
You have come to the end of a conversation with a theist, with a believer. Okay. And it seems you've gotten maybe the upper hand, not that you're trying to win the argument, but they really don't have anything else to say to you. Mm-hmm. And they say, well, all that evidence, all that science you just gave me, yeah, that's all well and good, but I know for sure because aside from all that, I've had personal interaction with Jesus Christ or God or whatever, or really? Zeus, and he has spoken to me personally.
What do you sound like?
Or we'll get to that. He's given me auditory proof. He's spoken to me audibly, or he's something in my dream, or he's given me a sign, or he's spoken to me personally in some form or fashion. Then you can't be right.
The internal witness of the Holy Spirit.
What was it?
The internal witness of the Holy Spirit.
The internal witness of the Holy Spirit.
Is that what you're referring to? Something William Lane Craig would say. I know God exists because I've experienced God in my life. I've heard His voice. I've gotten wisdom from Him. Whatever. It always seems kind of vague and amorphous. Like, how did they hear God? How did they see? How did they get this information? And it was something that I struggled with actually when I was.
You were a believer?
Yes, I was a believer. Yeah, growing up, I was a Christian. I was raised Southern Baptist. I was one of those.
I did not know that.
Yeah, Sunday, Wednesday, Sunday night. And then.
Till what age?
I was going pretty regularly till somewhere in my mid-20s, 23, 24, 25, somewhere in there. Kind of began tapering off, but I began to question this for myself.
That's another segment.
It is.
I want to know.
I'll tell you. But I began to question it for myself. I would see that people would say that God told them something or God gave them a word about a particular choice to make. They'd been praying and seeking God and reading the Bible and meditating and, well, God led me to this particular decision. Oftentimes, even as a believer, I would notice that the decisions they were led to, very prosaic. Oftentimes it was stuff you could kind of figure out for yourself. Or sometimes it would be like in high school and people would, they'd be dating and they'd break up with each other and say, God told us to break up. And it was just this like excuse when maybe really just the relationship wasn't working out.
Like you knew it already and you're just going to attribute it to something that told you that.
That was the impression I began to gather after a while. I felt very disingenuous. It was just a way to make your life sound spiritual and Christianly when really you're just, trying to get through life like everybody else. It gives you this sense of comfort and a feeling of superiority over other people. Like you automatically know what the best decisions are all the time. You don't have to figure it out. You just read the Bible and pray and ask God and He's going to give you an answer. What began to happen for me was I began to question, how do I know that whether or not that voice that I'm hearing in my head is God or me? And
could it have been something else?
Exactly.
Could it have been something else?
It could have been something else. Later, I'd go.
Occam's razor.
I'd go
the simplest
online.
Explanation tends to be the correct
Here's
one.
the simplest explanation. Went online and I read information about audio hallucinations and visual hallucinations. Turns out this stuff is much more common than we think, especially auditory hallucinations. Many people experience auditory hallucinations throughout their life, and there's different ranges, different levels of experience. Some it's like a real quiet voice, some it's a little louder, some it even takes on a dimension of like audibility where in their brain it sounds like they're actually hearing it outside of themselves when it's not because nobody else can hear it.
Have you ever been to Paris?
I've not been to Paris.
Close your eyes.
No.
Damn it! You're supposed to follow me. Okay, anyway. Okay, audience, close your eyes.
Close your eyes. Imagine you're in Paris.
Yeah, imagine not only you're in Paris, you're at the Eiffel Tower and you're going up the elevator. Did you even know that there's no elevator in the Eiffel Tower? And now here you're going up the elevator in Eiffel Tower.
You're imagining it.
Well, actually, there is an elevator, but you didn't know that.
A little double psych
Sorry.
out there.
Anyway.
Yeah. Well, it's just kind of like what Christians do.
Your mind can do some crazy stuff.
It can.
Yeah.
It can.
What was I going to ask you? These revelations that come from a higher being, do they usually, from your experience talking to believers, do they come as auditory, like actually I can hear them? Or in what format do they come to them? Are they asleep? Is it in a dream? Or
most of the time,
how do we account for these?
I wouldn't say that, in my experience with, Southern Christians in the United States, they're not really saying all the time that they audibly hear the voice of God, although sometimes they do, but they just kind of describe it as like this internal feeling or collections of thoughts, an internal leading of sorts. It's real vague.
Can the natural mental processes of your brain lead you to? Isn't that how we make decisions?
Exactly.
How can you attribute that to a higher, an intelligent agent?
To me, I see this as it's an abdication of personal responsibility. It's an abdication of reason and trying to put it on something else when really it's just you the entire time. And if you want to do that, okay, that's your business. In my experience, it leads you down a lot of dark alleys, a lot of things that just don't add up, don't make sense. You begin questioning things in such a way it just, after a while, it doesn't add up. It's like you begin looking at your everyday life, trying to find the voice of God in this sign or that, and kind of it can devolve into like a superstitious kind of thing.
Superstition and religion are synonymous in my vocabulary. But anyway,
yeah.
You have anything more to add?
Hey, I think I covered it.
Atheist Edge, Patreon, Facebook. I'm Jim.
I'm Sam.
Later.
Cheers.